Hello everyone, welcome back to Angela's Craft Room. Today it's just more of a tips tutorial on the precision base plate. I've had a few questions. Some of the ladies that subscribe to my channel are a bit confused on when I talk about the precision base plate when I'm cutting my Thinlit dies. So this is the precision base plate. Obviously that is the cutting side. So I'm just going to go through, as when I do classes I give a printout to the ladies and I label that sandwiches for your big shot. So what you need in the way of using your clear plates, your magnetic platform, your thin die adapters, what sandwich you need to put it through the big shot, and it's going to cause you a lot of less stress. Okay, so starting at the beginning, so if you were just doing an embossing folder, so if you're just going to emboss something, all you need it with that is your big shot platform and then your clear plate on top of that, and then I'm just going to grab an embossing folder, the brick wall embossing folder, and then you would just place your cardstock inside of there, and then you would take your other clear plate and put on top, and then just feed that straight through your big shot. So with embossing, where it's different to cutting with framelits and thinlits, all you're doing is adding pressure as it goes through the big shot, so it's imprinting that design on the piece of cardstock. So I hope that makes sense. So that's to help the ladies that were asking questions. So moving on to cutting a framelit. Now a framelit, here is one I've got from the Stars framelit dies, Stampin' Up dies. This is the largest framelit star. Now when cutting a framelit, because it doesn't have, you don't need the precision plate because it doesn't have the intricate pieces all inside. You're really just cutting a shape. So what you need to do for that is first take your big shot platform, then your thin die adapter, which goes on top there, then your clear plate, then you would take your piece of cardstock that you're using, and then you'd pop your thinlit, your framelit on top of there, and then your other clear plate on top of there, and then you would just feed that directly through your big shot and it would cut it out perfectly. So that's pretty easy. So now we're going to move on to doing a thinlit. Sorry. Now I've chosen the detailed floral thinlits because of their intricacy. So you can see how intricate that is, and that needs to all be cut out. And see, you can see the difference. This is a framelit and this is a thinlit. Okay, so hopefully that helps clear that up. Now to cut that thinlit out, we're going to use the big shot platform, then the thin die adapter. We're going to pop that on top there. Then we're going to put on our precision plate. And this is what's going to make all the difference to cutting out all these intricacies of your thinlit without getting all stressed about it. So we've got the big shot platform, then we put the thin die adapter on, Now we've just put our precision plate on. Then we're going to put our cardstock on there. Then we're going to put our Thinlit face down on there. And then just one clear plate on top of that. And then through the Big Shot. It's as simple as that. So I hope that helps those that are getting a bit confused with sandwiches and why we use the precision plate. Now these are brand new clear plates. Once you start using them, they'll get marked all over, which is quite normal. A tip also, when you've used it a few times, it will start, depending how much you use it, it will, and what you're cutting out, it will eventually get a little bend in it. That is when it's time to get another new set of clear plates, because once it gets the bend in it, it doesn't sit flush on there, and you'll be pulling your hair out. So I always have a set of clear plates on hand so that I can throw my old ones out and use my new ones. And that's why I've got new ones ready to go, because I've done that. And just another tip is when you're cutting a Thinlit, so this sort of one, when you're cutting a Thinlit out, once you've cut that out, you will also need the foam, the die brush and foam pad from Stampin' Up. So once you've cut it out, you just take it directly over to there like that, and then you just take the brush and you just run it over, and the bristles of the brush will get into all these little holes, and you don't have to add too much pressure, and it will just pop everything out for you. But you'll find it's so much easier if you use the precision plate, and then just finish off with the foam die and brush. Okay, so hopefully I've covered everything that you've asked me to. The only other tip I have for you is, if you prefer to use your magnetic platform, because it's a lot easier with framelits and Thinlits, and you don't have to stick them down with washi tape or sticky tape or whatever you use, so they won't move. So if you're using the magnetic platform, you would use that instead of, let me grab it, instead of the Big Shot platform and the thin die adapter. You can see they are flush, and that's the height that we need. So if you're going to use your magnetic platform, you don't need to use your thin die adapter or your Big Shot platform. You're using the magnetic platform instead. So I hope that makes sense. So if I was using a magnetic platform, what I would do is, because we can't cut on top of here, so I would put the thin die adapter underneath, and then pop the magnetic platform on top, and then I would bring in one clear plate and my piece of cardstock, and then pop my Thinlit on there, and then another clear plate on top of there, and then feed that through your Big Shot. So you can see, if I pick that up, that Thinlit isn't moving, and I haven't taped it down or anything. That's because I'm using the magnetic platform. Okay, so just recapping on that, if you are using, you prefer to use the magnetic platform, which I do, you don't need to use the Big Shot platform or the thin die adapter. You're using the magnetic platform instead of these two. So I hope that makes sense, and I hope that helps you to use the precision plate. So until next time, happy crafting.